Today a new student will come to a regular class. The demon Masatora Akatsu was very worried about his appearance. The teacher Shiramura introduces Akatsu, who has problems with his hair. The teacher and others support him, but soon the guy's scalp falls off. He finds a place for himself and goes to it. On the way he notices the beautiful Lily Amane. The demon felt love at first sight for the first time. Out of joy he makes several strange movements. He has already managed to imagine life with her. Kensuke Hirota approaches Lily, who invites her to go on a date, but the girl rejects him. Yuya Tanagawa calms down Hirota. He introduces this guy to Akatsu. Yuya and Hirota call the new guy to chat. Hirota tells how beautiful Lily is and how hard it is to achieve her, but he is not stopped by 5 times of rejection. Akatsu returns from school. In the gateway he bumps into Lily, which means fate brings Akatsu together with her. He can't think of anything to say, so Lily decides to go to the cafe for him. Her sleeve was torn, but she didn't attach any importance to it. Lily behaves like an angel, crossing a pedestrian crossing and a truck flies towards her. Akatsu does not hold back his demonic powers and in public stops the truck with his body. Lily helps Akatsu. Soon she began to question Akatsu about his actions. He does not hold back and begins to tell the truth. In the world of demons, angels staged a massacre. His brothers did not accept anything, and to find out, Akatsu came to the human world to look for angels. He wants to involve Lily in this matter. After several thoughtful conversations, Lily shows her true identity. She chains Akatsu, despises the demon and introduces herself as an angel. In this matter, Akatsu reconciled. Wiley controlled the angelic chains and talked about the battle with the demon before they met. Now Akatsu realizes everything. He breaks out of the chains and begins to attack the angel, but she was clever and fetters him again. She gives Akatsu a choice, tell him about his mission or expel him. Akatsu refuses and is already resigning himself to death. But Lily spares him. She wants to make him her servant in exchange for life. She also provokes him with a photo so that no one sees the photo. She forcibly forces Akatsu to put on a collar. After torment, Lily manages to put a collar on him. Now the demon becomes the angel's servant. Even after using the collar, Lily despises Akatsu for his demonic actions. But the guy himself did not want to harm loved ones. There was some truth in his words, but Lily doesn't care about it. Trying to remove Akatsu's collar, she learns that only Lily can remove it, and Akatsu's entire body is also under her control. After a while, Akatsu's body stopped obeying. He was already following the slightest orders, bringing things to Lily and so on, but because of the modesty of the angel, she wants to give something in return. Akatsu wanted a massage, but their time is interrupted by a policeman. The couple runs away. They stop in a dark alley, but even here Lily manages to mock. She again asks about Akatsu's desire to help her. In return she will hug him. Because of his powerlessness he falls for this trick. A policeman catches up with them. Akatsu finally arrives home, and it's there that he notices the collar is missing. He receives group messages where Lily talked about her assistant dog and that the collar is now in skin. She also knew how to read Akatsu's thoughts, and now he has a tattoo instead of a collar. In her room, Lily reported on her day. Akatsu begins to remember how Liz persuaded him to go to the human world. Because angels abuse demons, Akatsu could not tolerate such behavior. Coming out of the bathroom, he notices a love TV show. The next school day was stunning. Classmates noticed changes in Akatsu's appearance. Lily was already behind him. Having watched enough of that program, he decided to make Lily fall in love with his appearance. But turning to her, she had also been changed. It turns out that Lily had also watched this program yesterday. She didn't expect to see such beauty from Akatsu, and that's why she likes him. They wanted to fight, but they were interrupted by the bell for class. During the lesson, Akatsu gives the fallen eraser to Lily. She touches it and this excites him. They saw their actions as if they were a boxing match. The next trick was a hair on Lily's hair. This was the final blow to Lily's ego, and she gives up. Through the lesson, teacher Shiramura instructs Lily to take the printouts. They were heavy. All the work will go to Akatsu, taking his sleeve, but even after that he resisted. Taking the printouts, he rolls up his sleeves, showing off his muscles, which knocks Lily off her feet. All subsequent actions were more and more absurd. Both opponents were still standing. During the lesson, Shiramura calls Lily to the board. Having solved the problem, she decides to finish off Akatsu. She falls on his chest and almost finishes him off with this. But the fight is interrupted by Shiramura. Both students were already standing outside the door. Lily invited Akatsu to a meeting, but 2 unknown guys came instead. Lily explained to them that she was already waiting for someone, but because of her beauty they did not listen to her. Akatsu stood on the corner and was already driving the guys away. Talking about his great presence, Lily hits him with a toy and the guys run away. On the way, he was only worried about this toy, and also how beautiful Lily looked. He compliments her and remembers the past, because of which Lily is seriously angry. She will punish him in subsequent compliments. Today the couple will hunt demons. Lily brings Akatsu to the dog shelter, but Akatsu sensed something, and so they decided to set their sights on this goal. The search was long. The couple stops at a cafe, and already there they both feel an eerie presence. Outside the window stood a tear-stained Hirota, whom they led into the table. He was very jealous of their date, and this sinister aura was from him. Apologizing for the circumstances, Yuyuka Tanahashi, who looked like Hirota's girlfriend, enters the cafe. He introduces the others to her. Her words made Lily very angry. Soon when they met, she touched her height. The meeting did not work out. And when meeting Akatsu everything was fine. Lily decides to hurt Hirota. She tells everyone how he sought someone's love when he has Yuyuka. She got angry and took Hirota out of the cafe. Soon Lily also leaves, and behind Akatsu there was a demon. Their bill has already been paid. Akatsu has a nightmare about being bullied by a demon. At school, Yuyuka comes to Lily's class, who apologized to her for yesterday. And she was also Hirota's childhood friend. Her class was next to theirs. She offers to communicate further, which Lily really didn't want. After their conversation, Lily showed her anger. Akatsu is met on the roof by Hirota and Yuya. They notice that something is wrong with Akatsu's condition. He tells how he doesn't sleep at night because of a girl. This made the guys laugh a lot. Only children do this. The guys apologize for this. Hirota imagined himself and Akatsu as love friends, but he is also a lover, so you can't take advice from him. Akatsu receives a message from Lily. Their hunt for demons is interrupted due to poor condition. 2 hours after the demon hunt, Lily meets Yuyuka. She is again not happy to see her. It seems Yuyuka wants to get closer to her. Lily doesn't mind and they go for a walk. At the clothing store, Yuyuka makes fun of Lily's height, and then she is mocked about her waist. In the library, they touched each other with the help of books. Finally, Yuyuka calls Lily to take a photo. Akatsu was already running towards her. During editing, Yuyuka wanted to ruin everything, but was stopped by Lily's cuteness. In the cafe, she thanks Lily for the day. She put aside all doubts in her direction, and now she does not consider her an enemy. Lily thought the same. A message arrives on her phone and Yuyuka leaves her friend, leaving the yogurt to grow. Akatsu meets Lily. Despite his poor condition, now their hunt continues. The fight between the demon and the angel continues. Lily says how she hates demons, but the demon did not like this reason. He decides to transform into a more obscene form, from which he quickly gets what he deserves. Akatsu feels sorry for him. The demon cannot understand why Akatsu is for an angel, and to prove otherwise they must fight against Lily. Akatsu doesn't know what to do, so he gets into a weird pose calling it love while the demon and Lily fight behind him. Suddenly Akatsu takes out a microphone and dresses up like a demon, conveying his words of love to Lily. A vocal duel ensues between them, where Lily blows off Akatsu. Listening to their words, the demon realizes that Akatsu solves all problems for him. Suffering more, now he feels sorry for Akatsu. Lily gives last words to the demon. He came here out of curiosity about cycling shorts and leggings. This was a very absurd reason. Lily repents him with honor. The demon turns into a small puppy. Carney takes him to the shelter. Lily also explains that the demon's powers are also given to the shelter. She didn't really want to do this, and even in battle, she didn't intend to hurt her enemy. She released the rest of the animals to their owners. Such kindness amazed Akatsu, and he said this sincerely while they were walking to the cafe. Akatsu has very lewd dreams, which are torn apart by teacher Shiramura. While hunting with Lily, he began to have dreams with her, but he could not believe in love. On Akatsu's day off, Liz comes to see him, whom he couldn't let in, but she ends up going into the apartment. She came to give Akatsu something. This is a new school uniform that Akatsu has not yet arrived. Liz wanted to know how the mission was going, but Akatsu simply couldn't tell the truth, and in the end Liz believed his lies. The chief decides to stay here for the night. In her case there was everything necessary for an overnight stay. She went to change clothes, and Akatsu was excited, but Liz had a sleeping bag. The night was broken. After breakfast, Akatsu will go to train. Soon he was flirting with some girls who rejected him. Liz insists on any person who catches his eye. After several attempts, using the method of lying about the dog, he tells a passerby about it in tears. For help she gives him her number. For him it was a great success. Liz praises him. Akatsu needs to be needed for someone. The next passerby was Yuyuka, who herself invited Akatsu to the bar. At first it was quite good. Akatsu did something of his own, and Liz added something of her own through the transmitter, but soon there was no suitable item in the book, so Akatsu had to flirt himself. Even a few proverbs made Yuyuka feel embarrassed. Liz insisted on an evening walk in the park, which Akatsu did not agree to, but he soon had to do it. The couple was already walking through the evening park, but it was quite late, so Yuyuka went home. Liz again praises Akatsu for his success, which was the limit, but she recalls Akatsu's strange actions caused by Lily's movements. Liz leaves. During this day, Akatsu became more confident. Since the very morning, Lily wanted to put an end to it, but Akatsu didn't pay attention to her at school, and he didn't even react to the provocation with the collar. Heavy weapons followed. Lily innocently ran towards Akatsu, but he missed her like a boxing blow. She thought it was a matter of cuteness, which other schoolchildren noticed. Lily tried to lure him every time, but he very cunningly turned away from her as if dodging in a rush of punches in boxing. Akatsu took the second action, which greatly hurt Lily. While going down the stairs, Lily wanted to catch up with him and fall on him, making this a key moment in their story. Preparing for the final blow, Akatsu catches her, Lily fails, Akatsu sends her to the infirmary. Moving away from Lily, Akatsu thanks his via communication, who in turn disguised herself as a schoolgirl. She was quickly spotted in the toilet. Lily returns from the first aid station. She is eager to drink the water that Akatsu drank while making the so-called indirect kiss. Akatsu begins to be embarrassed about what Lily was trying to achieve, but from his embarrassment she became embarrassed herself, and suddenly she notices Akatsu's devilish smile. All this was on purpose and to make a mischief. At the last moment she gets to her feet and supposedly deliberately throws water over herself with chains. Lily is all wet. Akatsu takes the initiative. He quickly puts his jacket on her. This fight is over. Yuuka comes to the defeated Lily. Lily wants to know tips on breaking through the guy's defense. Yuuka had some kind of option. Lily and Akatsu were returning home. Lily was carrying a large bag of snacks. They reach Lily's house. The house was very big compared to Akatsu's house. Akatsu was already expecting something dangerous. Lily comes out to seduce Akatsu in an obscene manner. This really hurt him, but then it turns out that everything was thought out. Soon Lily brings delicious pasta and leaves. Akatsu is left to try it at his own risk, and the pasta turns out to be very tasty. He praises its preparation very much. But after this pasta there will be another one. This was Lily's #1 dish. Akatsu shares his favorite food, pepper, which made Lily laugh very much. The love war ends. They both have to choose a movie for the evening. They argued for a very long time. They ended up incorporating romance where they showed a lot of romantic and adult stuff, and at certain points Akatsu felt awkward looking at Lily. At one point they looked at each other, not understanding what they were doing. Lily goes to get something to drink, but trips. She is saved by Akatsu, and they fall together on the floor. This was the turning point between them. Their bodies were not controlled, and they wanted only one thing. After hesitation, Akatsu was already reaching for Lily's lips. Akatsu returns home. Lily's heart was still hesitating, not forgetting that very feeling. Akatsu had the same thing, and they noticed together that they ended up falling in love with each other. After last night, Lily couldn't sleep, and neither did Akatsu. She accidentally falls asleep in class, which is why she appears in the autumn game with Akatsu. The game is very buggy. Lily has to make choices at random. At that time, Akatsu was looking at the sleeping Lily. Lily has to go on a date with Akatsu, although it's a game and she's still nervous. Akatsu again takes on a broken form. Sleeping Lily was beaming with happiness. In the game, Akatsu took his first steps. Lily had an unbearable choice. After thinking about it, during the choice the samurai cuts Akatsu. He asks her to make her last wish, but he is already dying. In the real world, Yuuka and Akatsu manage to wake her up, and she is sent to the infirmary just in case. All the time in the first aid station she could not give up the thought of Akatsu. After a while he comes to visit her. She was very afraid of this, but she remembers that he is just a demon. Coming out of the blanket, she notices how he adjusts his collar and takes off his tie. Because of this she misunderstood him and now chains him. But Akatsu came only to ask for a tattoo. Lily is very ashamed. He talks about his obscene desire. He still wanted to visit the bathhouse with the girls, but the tattoo prevented him. He talks about his desire exquisitely. Lily understands him and now decides to change the tattoo, but something went wrong. Having created magical matter, a girl emerges from Akatsu's tattoo and is about to kill Akatsu, but he dodges in time. It was a Lily doll made in case of betrayal, but the doll begins to destroy everything in its path. Teacher Shiramura enters the classroom and sees complete chaos. Akatsu saves the teacher from death. Since the doll has played out in earnest, Lily will have to eliminate it. Shiramura was already preparing his last speech. His request was to evacuate the others, which Lily will do. Going down with the doll outside, Lily creates a spherical stage. Lily restrains her with chains, and Akatsu in his demon form tried to resist. When trying to hit the doll, Lily notices a mark on its back. Akatsu is led astray. Due to the mark, Lily is in a stupor. At the last moment, Akatsu protects himself from the doll's blow. Rethinking everything in advance, Lily gets back to her feet. Someone controls the doll. Akatsu creates a sand trap from which he grabs the doll. Lily flies from the sky, and with all his might he returns the doll to the other world. After everything, Lily gets very tired and faints. Lilia Amane sends sway people into the world. Akatsu brings the tired Lily home and takes care of her, and when he wanted to leave, Lily stops him. After some time, Akatsu realizes what condition Lily is in, and that it is better to stay with her after a difficult battle. He begins to have thoughts that something is going on in the world of angels, although this should not worry him. After a lot of self-introduction, a clone of Akatsu, who possessed omniscience, comes out of the window. The clone was very suspicious, But having entered the topic about Lily, Akatsu stopped caring about this. The clone promises love between an angel and demons from under the blanket. Instead of the promised Lily, teacher Shiramura appears and drags Akatsu under the blanket. Soon Lily wakes up and, as if nothing had happened, went to wash herself. When she comes back, she notices Akatsu lying down. She forgot what happened before. She remembers only the promise that night. She was already preparing to destroy the memories, but Akatsu's wound stops her. Now she remembers how he heroically saved her from the doll. In addition, she remembers the promise for following orders. Lily could not decide to hug. After hesitating a little, she was distracted by Akatsu in a vegetative state, which angered Lily. Having forgotten about this, she is still thinking about how it would be better to hug Akatsu, who at that time was remembering the flirting lessons that Shiramura taught him. Seeing how Akatsu flirts in a dream, Lily finds a suitable place for a hug. She sits opposite him in anticipation of miracles. Akatsu himself hugs Lily without realizing it, but Lily was confused. But remembering the brutal fight, she calms down. Now Akatsu's request remains. Lily finally changes the color of his tattoo so that it is no longer visible. Lily notices a broken window, followed by disturbing thoughts of how Akatsu carried her home. Waking up in the morning, Akatsu was tied up in chains. He frees himself and realizes that he is in L. Wiley's house. He goes into the kitchen. At this moment, Lily wakes up. She watches Akatsu doing something in the kitchen. Woke up, he was very hungry. He took advantage of the moment and prepared 2 servings, one as a token of gratitude for the help. The couple starts having breakfast, but Akatsu has a hard time eating with his injured hand. Lily teases him, and he teases back. They leave the house. Akatsu decides to go home for a shower. Having missed one lesson, Lily teases him again about the explosion of the collar, and she reminds him of his repaint. Akatsu was so pleased that he did not notice how he took Lily's hands. At that moment, Hirota and Yuuka filmed this spectacle. Standing on the roof, Lily spoke in horror about their problems. According to Lily, there was complete chaos in the class. What they saw in the morning was disseminated by ear. Lily was looked at askance and ridiculed. Only the tortured Hirota sat in complete shock, and everything he saw came from his defeated lips. In other words, they need to somehow get out. Akatsu through force agrees to help Lily. They will create their own plan. In class, Lily makes excuses in front of everyone. They believe in her nonsense about her relationship with Akatsu, which even amazed Yuuka. Akatsu gives a signal. Lily accidentally meets him, creating a scene as if nothing happened. Lily leaves Akatsu. All her classmates no longer believe, but Koyamatsu enters the battle. The well-read girl proves what she saw, that in reality everything is nothing. Having heard the reported nonsense, Akatsu continues to prove that there is nothing. Everyone believes him, and Akatsu is surprised at how stupid the class turns out to be. He is greeted by Yuuya and a still exhausted Hirota. At the dinner table, Hirota comes to his senses. Yuuka is still haunted by a suspicious couple. Akatsu was simply enjoying lunch. Yuuka shares a tomato with Lily, and to make sure at her expense, she asks to share it with Akatsu, but she does it instead. Akatsu simply accepts the treat, but Yuuka, having learned all the information from Koyamatsu, will not give up. She primitively watches Lily's every move. She recognizes that she is worried, so she continues to push harder. She suggests Akatsu take a walk on the weekend. There was nothing to do. Already at the glasses store, Akatsu was on a walk. He didn't like this situation at all, but that was the plan. He is lured by Yuuka's body and becomes happier. Lily, who watched, broke the wall out of anger. She was joined by Yuuya and Hirota in case of backup. Hirota was now happy to be in his usual place with Lily. The couple became closer and closer. During their walk, a trio followed them. At the moment, Lily felt strange seeing them together. It seems it was jealousy. Yuuya noticed this and gave advice, and also leaves on business. Lily is left alone. She was thinking alone about what Yuuya meant. While she was thinking, a couple approached Lily. There was nothing left for her to do. She jumped behind the bushes, behind which there was water. The conversation was about the relationship between Lily and Akatsu. He noticed this. When asked about Lily's attractiveness, he praised her very much and added everything out of love for her. Lily was already lying in the water, defeated by compliments. Akatsu says that he cannot be with her due to personal matters and differences. This makes Lily very sad, and she begins to get out. She almost gets caught. Her departure is replaced by Hirota, who made excuses to Yuuka. She was very jealous of him. They leave, leaving Akatsu alone. On the way, Yuuka learns about Hirota's walk. At home, Lily manages to get sick and goes to bed early. She is tormented by a strange feeling. Lilia Amane appears from chains in her room. Everyone learns about Lily's illness. Lilia sneaks into the class unnoticed. Akatsu immediately remembers that fight with her. Now she is pretending to be Lily's older sister, and now she wants to attend class here. Teacher Shiramura is not very happy about the appearance of an outsider, but after insistence and memories of the fight, he eventually agrees. Lilia spends school time as if nothing had happened. Sometimes she even naturally made mistakes, but mistakes could end badly. In PE, she did well, getting all the boys' attention and hitting the Akatsu ball as hard as she could. After the lesson, Akatsu cannot understand what is happening. Lilia worries him, she apologizes, but not because of volleyball. This time her consciousness turned on, and since she was worried about Lily, she decided to look at the world from her eyes so that Lily would not worry. The consciousness of people like Lilia was not introduced to everyone. Lilia was special, and now she apologizes for the past, but her protest attacks were not accidental. Lilia gets personal and Yuyuka comes up to talk. They all decide to visit Lily together. They were already standing at her house. Lilia was very worried. Akatsu did not let her go. He realized that Lilia had gone to school secretly. Coming to check on Lily's circumstances, she notices that Lilia is with the others. She didn't understand what she forgot here, but so that Yuyuka doesn't find out, they make themselves sisters. Lilia suddenly started talking about Lily's body. This was very embarrassing for her, so she began to drive Lilia away, using forbidden topics with the power of her thoughts. Lily leaves to make tea for everyone, just in case Akatsu followed her. In the kitchen she weakens. Akatsu was nearby and helped her, but remembering his date with Yuyuka, she rejects his help. Akatsu tells how he spent the day then. Lily thinks that he likes Yuyuka better, so she sends him to her. Lily loses consciousness. Yuyuka took care of her and now she is leaving on business, leaving Akatsu with her. Finally, Yuyuka insists on loving Lily further. Akatsu did not understand this hint. The rest of the time he thought about what these words meant, and he finds out that then during their conversation, Lily secretly overheard everything, and now she is jealous. He worries about her. He comes to her room. Lily has nightmares, and because of them she takes Akatsu's hand. Akatsu wants to go home. Realizing all his actions, Lily is ashamed. Akatsu apologizes for his persistence and for his concern. He tells how Lilia behaved at school, and that she is very similar to Lily herself. Then she agrees. Akatsu compliments the angels. Because of such words, Lily praised the demons. Akatsu will continue to look after her. Hearing this, Lily asks him to stay with her in case of another nightmare. Their conversation is interrupted by the arrival of Lilia, who felt a strange feeling in herself. She is worried about what is happening here. Akatsu returns home, and Lily lies contentedly. Lily recovers and they immediately go hunting for demons. While Akatsu was choosing a reward, Sui appears on Lily's path. While Lily was sleeping, Lilia was surprised at the defeated forces. She calls on Sui to come for her. In front of Akatsu, he introduces himself as Lily's brother. The acquaintance goes quite normally. Sui apologizes for the trouble and asks to pick Lily up for a few words. Akatsu is worried about Lily. Then she looked empty, but since Sui introduced himself as her brother, it means everything is fine with them. Sui creates an electrical barrier within which no one can see or hear them. Lily was on her knees while Sui despised her. He wanted to know who Akatsu was. Because Lily wouldn't make friends for herself, she was purely lying to him, and then Sui held her on the brink of death. Lily apologizes with all her might. Now Sui wants to know how the Lilia doll was defeated, and how it was summoned. Then Lily shows her fake wound, to prove that the fight was equal to the two of them. Sui returns to her mission. A lot of time has passed since that moment. It was very suspicious on Lily's part. She replies that humanoid demons are difficult for her, and her mission is harder because of this. She puts out all her strength so that they believe her. Sui was already preparing to leave, but during the entire conversation, he understood how she destroyed the doll. Its activation depended on the demon that was next to Lily's soul. Sui grabs the traitor, not letting her leave. Lily begs for help. Akatsu watched everything on the roof. He could barely restrain himself from interceding. His emotions were not controlled. He calls Liz, warning of danger. He jumps down to Sui and Liz. Then Akatsu ends the call. He has nothing left to do but fight. Sui recognizes the guy and he draws his saber. He promises to punish Lily after the fight. Lily grabs Akatsu with chains. She does not understand why he is doing this. Akatsu insists on protection. She dispels the chains, and Akatsu goes to fight for real. Sui's speed increased him, but he manages to break the saber. Then Sui summons dolls to restrain Akatsu. He switches to Lily. He still does not understand how Lily conquered the demon. He asks for a parting gift. Sui gradually tears Lily apart. Reaching the skin, there were thin chains under her. This proves that Lily is not real. Akatsu could not look at this madness. Once again, Sui is confirmed in a lie about the relationship between enemies. Besides, Lily did not have wings, but Akatsu knew that she had them. Sui asks to show them. They were ordinary bird wings. Grinning at them, he cuts them. Now this has been explained to everyone. Lily is absolutely not real, but just a fake. Sui shows what wings angels really have. The mockery of Lily reached its limit. Akatsu's emotions boiled over and he went crazy. Liz was lonely in her office. Remembering about Akatsu, he called her, warning her about the threat he had already faced. Behind him, Sui hears a shattering sound as one of the dolls flies into the wall, causing it to break. The distraught Akatsu breaks the second one, and then the subsequent ones. He blocks Sui's attack and then releases black wings. Now Sui flies into the fence. Akatsu flies right through Lily on the way, and continues to beat Sui to a very critical degree. During the beating, Sui blamed himself for not being able to be angry as a child. Akatsu gathers all his energy into a fist. At the decisive moment, Lily appears in front of him, asking him to spare his brother. Liz makes a call. She will be practicing something for such a long time. Akatsu ignores Lily and knocks her out of the way. His next attack, Lily takes over with chains, but he does not react to this, nor does the caller. Suddenly, Lily notices that there are 5 wings. The crippled Sui comes to her aid. He also noticed the loss of the demon's powers. He put his strength into that blow. Sui knows how to deprive him of 4 wings, but the latter will destroy Lily. He decides to help her. Akatsu attacks again. The angels have captured him with chains from both sides, and now Sui lures him. Absorbing the impact on the ground, he turns his back to the demon, and with his sharp wings destroys 4 wings of Akatsu. Lily attacks from behind. But it was her clone. The real Lily remembered the time spent with Akatsu, remembered how she fell in love with him despite his shortcomings. The truth is that she didn't want to let him go. During the battle, Lily passes out and Akatsu comes to his senses. Sui lay and watched him. Akatsu warns him that he will finish him off if he hurts Lily again, but also thanks him for bringing him to his senses. Yeah, what a funny demon. Akatsu comes to his house. He had a difficult moment in front of him to change Lily into clean clothing. Having been a little capricious, he tries to wake him up. The innocent Lilia comes to the rescue and begins to changing clothes right in front of Akatsu's eyes. The case was successful. Akatsu returns to Lilia. She calls him to talk. They move away from Lily. Akatsu notices the scar on Lilia's hand. She tells how she felt all the pain and fear of her mistress, but she couldn't go to help her. Lily's subconscious imprisoned her and she had to gnaw on chains. Akatsu asks to tell what happened to him then. Lilia tells what a monster he really is. She wondered why he returned. Akatsu came to his senses without knowing how, but when he came to Lily's aid, then she stopped being afraid. The conversation turns to the topic of Lily's childhood. She lived harshly. She was hated, but this did not stop her. She continued to succeed in everything tirelessly, but her meeting with Akatsu was a mistake. This is why she hates Akatsu. Lilia thanked Akatsu in tears for freeing Lily. He felt unnecessary, and it seems that all the rules between angels and demons have dried up. Lilia asks to pat her on the head. Akatsu took a long time to decide, and in the end they lay in an obscene position. Lilia filmed everything on camera. In case of betrayal to serve, she will show it to Lily, but she will also get angry with her. Then Lilia will give more as a reward. Lily wakes up and she realizes that she is in Akatsu's house. She panics because she was in disguise and was stripped of her dignity. Lily was ready to kill, but at the last moment Lilia stopped her. She explains that it was her. She is very embarrassed. Sitting over a cup of tea, Lily wants to find out what happened to her brother. Akatsu says that everything is fine with him, and he also brought Lily to him so that no one would follow her. For Lily it sounded wrong, and she was already inventing all sorts of things. Although remembering the changes in Akatsu, that fight, everything is coming together and therefore everything is in order. Akatsu thanks her for the return of her sanity, and if Lily is okay, she can go home. Lily blushes. She wants to stay with him. Akatsu is very surprised by this. This was a new stage. Lily takes the bed for herself, and she will worry about Akatsu too. She sends Lilia for everything she needs. She will still have time to get to the last store. Lilia leaves and leaves the couple alone. They become completely awkward. Tomorrow they have school. Akatsu decides to call Liz about everything, but she was busy with her own business. They begin to live the most ordinary and sometimes even family life. During sleep, Lily approaches the sleeping Akatsu and begins to express her gratitude. He showed her a lot of things, made her feel a lot of things, and therefore he is the first one who becomes the first kiss for Lily. Their eternal duel ends at this moment. In the morning the couple was late for school. Akatsu makes fun of this situation, but for Lily it was then decisive. The others meet them. Hiroto was jealous of the couple again. Yuuka put him in his place. And yet, Lily can't stop wondering how the world became colorful for her when she met Akatsu. During class, Lily notices a missing bow that Akatsu left at home. She returns to him, but at the door of his house Liz hugged Akatsu. Their story was only gaining momentum.